Hey everybody, it's Clark Commando 1983, aka Mark Ruggiero here with part 7 of my 4th edition Third Reich replay. Cancer has been a big mess for me lately, so I feel pretty good. It's today, July 28th. It's about 10 p.m. on the West Coast, and I'm up, feeling pretty good, so let's do this. So, hope everybody's well. And if you can hear me, I'm gonna walk around the other side of my table here. I want to welcome you. I have a really great time doing these, and if you enjoy it, please like, subscribe. If not, it's okay. It just most important thing is you enjoy your journey. So where we're at is we're gonna start the the Axis summer 1940 turn. Absolutely no optimal play here. In fact, this game would probably be a disaster if it was for real. As you know, I play a lot of World at War. I'm not used to, this older game. It's definitely interesting going back in time a little bit. I used to play this a lot when I was 12, 13, 14, probably all the way up through high school. And moved on, and I decided to come back. After I do this, I'll be doing Guns of August. I don't know how long I'm gonna play this for, honestly, but I want to do this, try to teach a little bit of the mechanics, just do a little recap. So I haven't been filming the Allied turn because not as much going on, but the Allies did manage to get a double turn, which I'm sure more competent play might have been able to accomplish something. But basically, what happened in the end of the spring turn for the Allies was do a lot of rebuilding, redeploying. And then the summer, Allies, I got if you can see up in England, I got the beaches pretty well defended. Germany's not a threat. They really didn't build their extra fleet, taking a lot of losses. But in the summer turn, I was able to, I got a nice line formed there in France. We'll see if the Germans can crack it this turn. I'm not set up to invade Norway, which I should be, and I'm probably not ideally set up to attack France. So, but it is what it is. I'm going to accomplish my goal here. I'm going to walk through the Axis summer turn, and then it will be fall next because the Allies did get a flip-flop. One thing they were able to accomplish, launch an offensive down here in Egypt. And I believe I tried to look, this hex here is it's got a partially clear hex side through the Quattro Depression. So I believe that these Italian armor can trace supply through there. The other thing I struggled with a little bit is, and I looked in the rule book and I know it's there, I just can't seem to find it, was for Britain to SR from England to Suez cost 2 SRs per unit. So if somebody knows where that rule is in the 4th edition rule book, can give me a rules reference, I'd appreciate it. All right, so let's get started. So where we're at is, like you said, Axis summer. It's the second half of the turn. And I believe, yes, the Allied cooperation limits are still in effect, I believe. But anyways, you notice I got the French air back here, 10 factors. Germany has all 30 of theirs available. I'm going to have to do some rebasing so I can get a good attack on Paris. And I believe my airborne unit's out of position. And even though it's solitaire and I could I'll just move it. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to just live with the consequences. And you can look at, this is what could happen if you're a first-time player. But the most important thing is you have fun. So anyways, so where are we at here? So there's no new declarations of war for the Axis right now. They got their hands pretty full as it is. Option selection, obviously Germany's going to take an offensive option on the Western Front. That's going to cost 15 BRPs. And by the way, let's get these updated here. Tracking everything on paper, like it recommends in the, so let's see, 88, 15, get me down to 63, I believe, right? Yeah. 88, no, 73? Yeah, 73. New math, Mark. Learn how to do your math. Italy. Geez, I really want to. Italy's going to do an attrition option. I think that's their best option in the Med. They're not going to participate in the offensive in the West. And the main goal is going to be to try to reinforce North Africa with the 2 armor units I got here in the SR phase. Last turn, they got turned back by the British with some fairly heavy losses. What did we lose? 6-2. So far, we've lost 6 naval factors, it looks like, for Italy. Let's see. And the British overall have lost 5, I believe, in the battles that we fought so far. But let's see here, 14. There should be 6 naval factors in the Italian force pool, not 4. So let's fix that over here. Yes, I'm a counter clipper. Hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully I'm not mumbling. I think I've noticed with the cancer, people tell me I'm mumbling and I'm not even aware of it. So I'm trying to articulate my speech. Let's see what happens. All right, there we go. And if you remember, I can't rebuild the fleet. You can only rebuild full 9 factors. But anyways, so movement phase. So in the movement phase, any naval rebasing, there's none. That's where you can take your naval units and rebase them on the same front. Oh, excuse me. That's not happening right now. So we're going to go right to the staging of air and movement of ground troops. So we'll do Italy first because that will be the simplest. Oh boy, we're in trouble here. So let's see if we assume that that gets through. And go, let's see here. I'm going to go. So we're going to take these guys. We're going to go. It's going to cost 3 to go to here, right? No, yes, because we're exiting Zoc. That's 2, so it's 3, 4. No, they can't make it where I want them to go. So let's think about this for a minute. All right, we're going to have to do this. So we'll go to here. Back to the Egyptian border. That's 5. So we go 3, 4, 5. They're definitely within air range. So I really got to hope that these guys are able to fight their way through. In fact, oh boy, I'm going to sacrifice a little bit on the air, and maybe it'll be worth it. Let's see if we can make it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're going to stage the 5 factors of air from the air base up here to, what is that? Syracuse and Sicily. And what we're going to do is we're going to form it so we can get a nice little 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, yeah, so we'll have this nice protection of air so the British actually won't intercept because that would be pretty risky coming under the air umbrella. So that's what that's going to do. So I guarantee I'll be able to strategically redeploy my armor to here and then get a stack here. See what happens. All right. So now we're going to go up here to France and fix this stack in Berlin. It's like I said, we're doing first things first, so we're staging air. So let's, we're going to need all the air to attack, be able to get a good attack on Paris. So let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, that 5 factors within range. We blew the attack on there. So let's see. 1, 2, need to get 5 factors here. There's 10. 4, nope. Let's see. Other cities, nope. Okay, all right, oh boy, this could be a disaster, huh? 1, 2. No, yeah, we're gonna set ourselves up for disaster next turn we get next turn we get our air flipped. So just trying to get everything within range of Paris. So there we get 5, 10, 15, 4. No, he's out of range. He's out of range. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 5 here. I have an air base available, so we're going to place an air base here in Frankfurt. That's going to allow 10 factors to base there. I got to fix this. All right. So I don't know, while you're watching this, if if you think you're worth your time, I'd appreciate any comments, whatever you have for me. Where is... Yeah. Okay. Go there. I already have 10 here now. Let's do this here. Like I said, we want to make sure we get all our air within range. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is Paris right here. So I got 10, 15, 20, 25. This 5 factors here, which is all change. I'm going to trade that in for, well, you know what? Let's, yeah, all right. So it's air can be like change, Navy can't. So it took 5 off. And we're going to rebase that 5. Oh my goodness, Mark, you're a mess. All right. So we're going to rebase this 5 from here, where I just put the air base down. No, can't do that. Oh, here we go, right here, yeah. Put this right here in Bonn, okay. All right, so that's our staging. So now I want to attack Paris, and I need to look up my airborne. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I don't know what the range of airborne is. Let's look that up. I don't think that I'm going to be able to drop it on Paris. The idea being, if you're able to do an airdrop, which if I wasn't an idiot, I would have had in range of Paris, you could drop on it and that would untriple because they're behind a river. Let's look at the index. It does have a nice index and the 4th edition rules, which are available on Board Game Geek. And let's see, airborne. Problem is, some reason my printer printed the index out really small. Airborne, looks like rule 31. So we're going to look up airborne really quick. Appreciate your patience. I really enjoy doing this. I'm pretty excited about eventually getting the Guns of August after this, but I gotta admit I'm having fun doing this. It's a great way for me to help get a little distracted, deal with my cancer. Let's see, you have to begin an air base, be able to trace supply, not enemy ZOC. Can't move during the movement phase and then drop later, so that takes care of that. I'm not going to be able to airdrop even if I did move it. Let's see, let me read the whole rule. And then drop later in the turn, normally drop in which it moves by sea transport. All right, so basically it needs to be in position to drop. Oh, it is, it would be within 6 hexes of the air base. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm just short, damn it, even where I'm at. Oh well, I blew that. That's what I get for not knowing the game inside and out. Like I said, I play a lot of World at War, and there's definitely some differences here. In World at War, you would recognize the ground combat. It's offensive options are pretty much the same. There are some differences with the air missions, and not the air missions, but the handling of air. We're in 4th edition, and I don't want to turn this into a comparison, but once you use your air, it's used for the turn. In World at War, you use your air. At the end of your turn, you can, you get to reflip it back up, and then you also get to flip it back up beginning of your turn. So the air is a lot more flexible. So, all right, well, let's finish the movement. So we're going to try to maximize our attack on Paris. Yeah, it's going to be, Paris is going to defend at, before any air gets involved. It's going to defend at, oh my gosh, 18. So this is going to be ugly. This may be the last video. We'll see. So 18. All right, well, let's see what we can do. So I want to get a bridgehead. So we're going to max stack the armor. We're going to get 16 factors armor up here. That's 16. Figure out the air here in a minute. Now we will be able to do some exploitation. So we're going to move up. Get that 2 armor there. Assuming that we can break through. And we're going to do, like I said, I don't know if this is smart. It's probably not, but I'm just doing this because I'm having a good time and I want to do some good demo for you. So these 4 armor here can be exploiting armor. We'll go defensive with the infantry. And let's see, no side attacks, Mark. All right, 1, 2, no, wait, this guy should be here. Okay, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 factors there. All right, so I got 16, got 30 factors there. So just to get a 2-to-1, I'm going to have to fight 20 factors. This is really not the way to do it, folks. I'm going to fly 20 factors of offensive air support. That's going to leave me the French. We'll throw in their 10 for defensive air support, which I will intercept with my 10. All right, so that's what I got going on here. So assuming none of the French air gets through, it will be a 2-to-1. This could be a quick game. Because honestly, if the Germans lose this battle, it's pretty much game over. So, all right. So we did movement. Why does this keep sticking to my arm, dang it. The old counter sticking to your arm trick. Not good. All right. So looking at the sequence of play, so we're going to do attrition combat. So Italians declared an attrition. I don't have any attrition. Dang it. Excuse me. I don't know. That's not a good thing. I believe, and I could be wrong on this. Let's look it up really quick. I believe if you declare an attrition, you have to have somebody adjacent to do it. I don't think you can do what I did. So let's see here. Attrition option. Rule 18 in the version 4 rulebook. It's available on BGG. Got my handy dandy spiral bound. I love doing that in my games. Just makes it so much easier. So 18, rule 18. And I apologize if my comments are lame. I don't know. It's like the best I can do right now. So 18. All right. Attrition option. Movement, construction are the same. Attrition options are identical. Okay. So what I did is legal. So I would total what's in contact, if any. So I don't have any adjacent, so there's no attrition roll. Okay. For the Italians in the Med, which is fine. I just want the ability to be able to SR those armor units in Tobruk. Otherwise, it's a lost cause. Okay, so air-to-air combat, if you remember, is pretty simple. So we have 10 French against 10 Germans. The larger size would get a +1 on the die roll, so there is none. And is it 2 dice? No, it's 1 dice. DRMs must also be applied. So the larger size would get the, for air-to-air combat, let's see. Both sides are going to roll a die. The larger side, there is none, we get a +1. Nationality modifiers are applied. So Germany has 0. The French are -1 on their die roll. Excuse me. All right, here we go. All right, we're going to roll 2 dice. And I did a video on this. Really kind of cool little thing you can get for cheap on Amazon. Got a red die for the Axis and a white die for the Allies. And here we go, round 1. And the Germans roll a 6, which is good. Germany needed that. They roll a 6, which is modified to nothing. So a 6, but the French have a -1, so it's 2. So the French lose 4 air factors. We're going to take this 5 off. And we're going to go to the counter sheets. And the change, you have to have the units available, so don't lose your units. You can't make units up for change. There's no 4s, so we are going to lose 4 air factors. And there's just enough here to make change. So we got 1 factor is going to go back on the board. And I do got to look up really quick if, where'd the other factor go? There it is, still there. All right. And I don't know if there's multiple rounds in Third Reich or not. I got to look that up. Or if you just fight 1 round and that's the end of the story there. So let's put that there. I'm going to clip these really quick. I do think it's interesting that in the counter mix they didn't include any 4-factor change. So I don't know what their thought process was. So I got to use a 3 and a 1 because the rule is if you don't have it, you got to eliminate extra factors. You don't have the correct change, which is kind of bizarre. But it is what it is. I'm going to look up air-to-air combat in just a minute, see if there's multiple rounds. Because this is the battle for Paris, so, you know. So what happens is, so the French are going to lose, the difference is a 6 and a 2. So the French are going to lose 4 factors. So we're going to put those in the force pool. Right here. BRPs the French got. Let me adjust the French have 100 BRPs. All right, not 100. All right, here we go. Okay, and this guy will fly back to base, and he's flipped. Now let's look up air-to-air combat. We're going to see if multiple rounds are allowed. I don't remember off the top of my head. 28,432. Okay. Well indexed, I must admit. If you still play this old classic, I want to play it. Hopefully my video is helping. Employment, defending survivors. Let's counter air. I don't want that. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Offensive air missions. Interception. Air combat. Let's see, defensive air. Yeah, but I intercepted as defensive air, which is legal. Interception. Air units which have not yet flown. So I intercepted, that's what I did. Well, let's see, reading under interception. Attackers may intercept with a force of any size. And then it refers you to 28,432 for the air-to-air combat. All right, here we go. Counter air combat. So we did that, the +1 for the larger size, did the air nationality. Half as many fractions rounded down. See, there's no multiple rounds of air combat. So that's the difference. Also note under interception, rule 28.44, if the defender had the larger force, any survivors would have went to the battle. But in this case, everybody returns to base, and they're flipped. All right, so we'll return these guys. Let's see, oh, here we go. Let's put them in S. Okay. All right, so it looks like we've got a 2-to-1 on Paris. We're going to roll the die. See what happens. This could be a real disaster for the Germans. Let's see. Oh, 6. And a 5. I think that's going to do the job. That's a big D. All right, so we're going to be able to, I think, go look at Vichy, see what happens. So we're going to look that up, see when that happens. So the first thing that's going to happen, we're going to return all this German air. It's going to go back to base. So we got an exchange result. So before we do that, so what's going to happen is the French are going to lose 18 factors, 2 armor units. And this really costs the Germans pretty expensive. So we want to make sure, let's see, there. I'm going to do the losses here in a minute. I just gotta, I want to get my breakthrough armor. So I got 4 exploiting armor. Looks like, and I have 4 breakthrough armor. All right. So it may not be mathematically the smart way to do it. How many armor units I got here? 2, 4, 6, 8. I got too many. 1, 2, 3, 4. I get 6. Okay, so I got 6. 4 of these are exploiting armor. We're going to leave that 1 stack behind, I think. And we're going to have 8. We're going to lose 8 armor. And that means we'll have to lose 10 air. That is just really ugly. Really ugly. But that's 18, so. And we return the other 10 factors to their air base. So we can do, oh, that's right, we had him here. So we're going to put him back here because I think the British, if they can, are going to try to fly some, they'll stage up in their turn, maybe fly some counter air to try to kill some more German air factors. So, like these guys. Anyways, so that's the losses. And we're going to need a beachhead marker. I believe, yeah, I think the Axis get 2. I think the Axis get 2, you just need 1. So at a bridgehead marker, you can place when you do invasions. If you do an attack where everything's across the river, like this battle, that allows you to stack up to 5 units in the bridgehead marker. And we're going to look up Vichy here in just a minute. So place the bridgehead. 2 of the armor that advance in. I think we're going to have to do that. Let's do this. Let's advance all the armor in. That's 8. So 2 advance in. There's 6 that are exploiting. So we're going to exploit backwards. We're going to go 1, 2, like that. We'll go 1, 2. I don't believe the French can launch suicide attacks. But we're going to do this. We're going to go 1, 1, 2. And if you remember, exploitation is your movement, but you have to maintain a chain of 2 hexes. So I'll go over that here in just a second. Hopefully you can see. So what that means is the first unit can go 1, 2. There's no armor, so there's no extra. But then they have to stop. The next armor can go 1, 2, 3, 4 if they wanted to. In other words, follow the path of previous, or they can do a new path. 1, 2. All right, so that's going to leave 3 armor in Paris with no air support. All right, and we are going to have some unsupplied French units on their turn. So that's movement, that's combat. I want to go look up Vichy to see when that happens. I don't know if you do it right away or you wait till the end of the turn. Maybe it says in the sequence of play. Yeah, let's see. Italian surrender, no. Reallocate internal status of the French colonies. That's not, no, you know what? It's not going to happen because I think the French get a turn. They do get a turn to retake their capital. It's, but I do believe you don't get to launch like suicide attacks. I think if you can't get a 1-to-1 minimum, you can't launch any attacks. France, 26.8, 29.18. Let's see, what rule would that be? 29.18 for France. I'm looking up what happened. No, that's not it. French fleets must base only in France. They fall, they have to return to Marseille. All right, no, it's not that rule. Let's see here. Pardon the burps. It's my cancer speaking as I kill it silently with my chemo. French. Let's see here. France. 26.8. We already looked up 29, so let's see what 26.8. 26.8. French attacks when Paris is occupied are limited to those which could conceivably lead to the recapture of Paris. French attacks on hexes other than Paris are allowable only if success could conceivably permit an exploitation movement or a 1 to 2 or better attack on Paris. So that's not going to happen. French attacks on Paris at 1 to 3 odds and 1 to 4 odds may only be made if an exchange result would leave a French unit to advance into Paris. That's not going to happen. Well, let's see. Yeah, you can't advance out of supply units, so that's not going to happen. You can trade supply from London for the turn. Let's see here. Looks like there's going to be no attacks from the French. Can't use an attrition option. You can only take an offensive on the Western Front. You can't do naval interceptions. Can't make declarations of war. There's no French air available. So it might have been worth it not doing the defensive air support. Maybe I should have held the French air. Well, it really wouldn't have mattered in the scheme of things, but that was an option. Rule 49. So let's see Rule 49. So I believe they're going to fall at the end of the Allied turn. So we're going to finish out the German turn. I'll do the Allied turn off camera, but I'll definitely come back and in my next video we're going to go through the Vichy France rules. So let's finish the German turn. So we did combat, get that all done. So now I believe we go to unit construction. And it's the summer and the Axis are in serious BRP trouble. So in fact, they're in danger of another Allied double turn. So we're gonna have to really give some thought here. We definitely got to rebuild some forces, though. But for example, Italy, which actually not in bad shape BRP wise, but Italy has 64 BRPs and Germany's down to 73 already. And we haven't even done the builds. So. All right, unit construction. Well, considering where we're at, oh boy, you'll see the Allies right now, if they don't spend anything, they have 172. So there's no way And right now the Axis, before spending anything, have 137. So the Allies are going to be easily be able to guarantee a double turn. Which, by the way, I'll do this turn. We'll see what I do. But this video I'm going to end at the end of the German turn. So we got the fall turn and the winter turn to go at Germany. Oh boy. Well, I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to spend 30 for air. It gets me down to 43. And then I'll go ahead and build 43, 40, 37, 34. Not ideal, but I'm going to have 34 left after builds. I'm going to build 10 factors of air, which costs 3 BRPs per factor, so that's 30, plus 3 infantry. Italy, and like I said, I feel like we can't not prevent the double turn. And if I build the air, at least that's going to give me a little bit of flexibility for some defensive air support and whatnot. That's the hope anyways. So we'll see what happens. And then Italy and their force pool, they have a 1-3 and a fleet. So let's go ahead and build out the fleet. That's going to knock Italy. Oh, that was the wrong. I just subtracted the German builds from the Italian builds. So what do we say? 39, right? I use a calculator because of chemo brain. So 73 minus 39 equals, that leaves me 34 BRPs for Germany. All right, 34. And we will mark it on here. 34. Okay. Well, excuse me. And then Italy, I'm going to go ahead and have Italy. They're going to go ahead and build their last fleet for 27. And their 1 factor of infantry for 28. So they have 64 minus 28 is 38 BRPs left. Boy, the Axis are in bad shape. I bet you most players, if they were playing this and they were doing this bad, I'd be laughed out of your house, I'm sure. So anyways, all right. We can base 36. We don't have that. I'm going to base, as part of the home country, the Italian fleet's going to go in Messina. Yeah, that's probably not smart, because remove that air, leaves them open to this guy. Let's see, you can base 36 in a port, 18, 24. So Tirano's basically full up. Let's go ahead and base this guy. How about Livorno? Yeah, I guess. I don't know. All right. Livorno. Why not? And the 1 factor infantry, for shits and giggles, put up on the border here with Yugoslavia. Okay. And German air. How many air bases left? I don't think so. I think I got them all, my air bases placed. Oh, and I put the wrong beachhead marker. The Germans have their own. Duh. Okay. All right, let's take this air base. So you recycle. I believe this is legal. I hope it is. If it's not, let me know in the comments. And I'll place my 10 air in Bonn with the air base. That puts me in range for defensive air for Paris, which is what I want. Okay. And it's also going to put it in counter air range of the British, so not that it'll matter, but I think that might happen. All right. So let's new builds. So the fall, I believe you can, maybe we'll try the invasion of Norway. We'll see. And the airborne can stack free. And we'll go ahead and put this 3-3 here. Well, I'm 7. All right, now we're going to do strategic redeployments. So I think it's probably not in the interest of the British to intercept this. So I'm going to strategically redeploy these 2 armor carried by these fleets under an air umbrella. That costs, and then it's going to cost 1 to debark. Can't go adjacent. So we're going to do this. Maybe not a smart idea, but that's what we're going to do. The 2 armor. So we got some armor. We got 5 factors of air. They got 6. So Allies are going to actually have some interesting things to contemplate. They're in pretty good shape, considering my poor German play. So that's placement. SRs. We can take this guy. We're going to go do, can't go adjacent, but we will do that. I don't think that Britain can form a viable threat to invasion, but just in case, because they are going to get a double turn, let's defend the beaches. Okay, so we get the beaches defended. Very poor Axis turn. So that's it. Hope I didn't mumble too much. Hope you enjoyed the video. This is part 7 of my After Action Learn How to Play. We'll see how Cancer treats me tomorrow. I may get to do the next part, which I may film the Allied turn. I'm not quite sure. It might be interesting. I'll give it some thought. Going to be spending some time. I'm prepping. If you've paid attention on Facebook, I'm prepping to learn and teach a local guy how to play World in Flames. I've never in my life played a full campaign of World in Flames with Days of Decision. Of course, it's the Deluxe Collector's Edition that I kickstarted back in 2017. Due to I used to play World in Flames regularly, but due to work, I had to drop out. And I changed jobs, so because I worked too many hours. But now that I'm enjoying Cancer, ha ha ha, and I got the time, I decided that on my to-play list is going to be World in Flames. So anyways, thanks for joining me on this fine evening. What I like to say is enjoy your journey. Wargaming is the best hobby out there, and really appreciate it if you stuck around. If you didn't, I totally understand. So, and I apologize for the poor quality. I'm doing my best. And sadly, this is what it is right now. So thank you if you stuck it out this long. Thanks for joining me. And until next time, have a good evening. Bye.